Recently we purchased the Samsung S90C, and instead of coming with the usual Samsung multi-button remotes, it came with this. Unlike your old Samsung TV remote, the new one includes a solar panel on the back side because it doesn't have batteries that you can swap out. So you got to make sure that you leave it out in some light so it charges. If that fails, you could always plug it in with a USB-C cable to an adapter, none of which are included with the TV. The only way to check the battery status of the remote is to go into Settings, go into All Settings, go down to General and Privacy, go down to Power Energy Saving, and then at the very bottom you'll see Available Remote Battery. So our remote is at 81%. In this video I'm going to show you how you can do so much with so few buttons. Functions on this remote are power button at the top left. Below that is a button that calls up the settings for the TV so you can make adjustments. There's a little opening here for built-in microphone. You can activate that microphone by pushing the button with the mic picture on it. Below that is a ring. This ring enables you to toggle up to a choice, go down to a choice, go to the right, go to the left. The center button functions as a pause, an enter, or an OK acknowledgement. Below that we have a going back, so you might be on a page and when you want to go back to the previous page, you would hit that button. If you want to go to the home screen, you'd hit the little home, play and pause. Then we have these two buttons, and these actually toggle up, and that increases volume. If you push down, it lowers the volume. If you press down, it actually mutes. Press it again, it unmutes. So it's a 3-function button. The same over on this side. If you push it up, you go to the next channel. If you push it down, the previous channel. If you press it, you get the guide. And then finally we have some pre-programmed keys. You have Netflix, Samsung TV Plus, Prime Video, and Disney. Now let's take a look at how it works with the TV. I have a smart Onkyo receiver attached to my TV so that when I switch on the TV, it switches on the receiver. And I can control the volume via the Samsung remote. And of course, when I turn off the TV, it turns the receiver off. Starting with a blank screen, we're going to hit the power button, and that'll take us to the home screen of the TV.
And a crisis.
And I'll make sure it's muted by pressing down this button. And now you won't hear any audio. I can unmute, or I can just press up, aim at the TV, and that will bring audio up and bring it down. We have our channel function. So again, if I go up, it takes me to the next channel. If I go down, to the previous channel, and if I press that button, it takes me to the guide. Now, a cool thing about the guide is, let's say I don't know what the Young and Restless is all about. If I press on that center ring and hold it, it gives me a choice of view details. And if I press that center button again, I can read all about the Young and the Restless. And then when I'm done, I hit the center ring again for the OK function. And if I want to go back, I hit my little back arrow, and that takes me back to the show. If we press the settings button, that takes us to a list of many things that we can change. If the first one is all settings, and it may display in a different order on your TV, but that takes you to all the possible settings in your TV. And you can get out of this mode either by hitting the settings button or the back key. I'm going to hit the back key. And then you see there are lots of other things you can change. And I want to show you something really cool. If you go all the way to the end, toggle all the way to the end, press the list edit button. Now that allows you to move something. And so I want to move this one, the picture mode. And so now I get double arrows on it because I've pressed OK. And now I can move that anywhere I want to in my list. And I want to put it right after all settings. So I press OK. And now it's in that order. So I can see all my settings very quickly, or I can change picture modes. So you can easily arrange all these functions. Now you may notice on the screen that there is a little arrow and it says 1, 2, 3. If I push the down on the ring, that takes me to numbers. So let's say you're trying to log into Netflix and it says enter this code. That's an easy way to call up the keypad, and then you just go through that to enter your keys. So it has reset. I want to go back into settings. So by going left and right and hitting enter, you can pick your code, and you can even go back and fix mistakes. If we go down, this gives you the option of using the A, B, and C modes that used to be on the remote. And those are programmed by the app. You notice that there was an information button. I hit that, and it gives you information. And again, you can always hit the center button, the OK button, and that will give you more information. Blue Bloods, it's this Tom Selleck show that stars blah, 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 and blah. We hit page back, and now I go back to my settings one more time. Now if I go to the left of info, I get the schedule manager, and by pressing my center button, I'm allowed to put in a reminder to schedule any over-the-air programming that I want to be reminded of. You're also allowed in this menu to edit the time for that. You can delete it, you can view information about it. So in this case, I'm going to delete Young Sheldon, and I'm going to add a viewing. And to add a viewing, you tell it whether it's going to be over the air, digital, or cable. Then you pick a channel for it to remind you about, and whether this is a single event or every day, or no repeat. And then the date, and of course the start time. And then you can save that or cancel it. Now another way of doing this is to go back home, and let's go into our off-the-air channels, and I'm going to press my viewing guide. And now I can actually go over to, let's see, Sheldon comes on at about 7 o'clock in our area. And so I look for Young Sheldon, there he is, and I press my OK button, and it says schedule a viewing. And it tells me that it's going to give me a reminder 5 minutes before the program starts. And so it's a nice way to set a reminder so you don't miss an important show. So now let's go back to home. And in recents, that'll be the last thing that you were watching, whether it's an app or an on-air channel. And then if let's pick something. I'm going to hit the microphone and tell it to switch over to Netflix. Go to Netflix. And without me having to toggle, it automatically goes into Netflix. And then of course we have the pre-programmed keys of Samsung Plus, which is a bunch of free streaming channels that are available to you. And here we're watching the Fireplace channel, and it's in 4K. And if you have a voice command device, you can always talk to that device. So I could say, Amazon, go to Tubi. And yes, sometimes it's faster to actually just move the cursor around and get to the thing you want. But just so you know, it is available where you can do voice command to it. Here we're watching something on Tubi, and I want to show you that if I use the pause button, on most apps you can pause, then I hit play, and it continues. You can also do that with the OK command button. It will also pause, and if you click right, it'll advance 30 seconds, and you can also go backwards, you can go reverse or fast forward using these keys. So you see, you really don't need all the fancy keys that the old remotes used to come with, because you can do it all with the simplicity of just a few buttons. If you found this video interesting and useful, give us a thumbs up, leave us a comment, join the subscription team, and as always, thank you ever so much for watching.